transforming casual prayer into a constant conversation that changes your inner life. Transforming casual prayer into a constant conversation with God is one of the most profound shifts a Catholic can experience in their spiritual life. Many believers begin with occasional prayers, perhaps before meals, at Mass, or in moments of difficulty. While these prayers are meaningful, they often remain confined to specific times and circumstances. The deeper invitation of the Catholic faith, however, is to move beyond these isolated moments and enter into a living, continuous relationship with God that permeates every aspect of daily life. At the heart of this transformation is a change in how we understand prayer itself. Prayer is not merely a ritual or a recitation of memorized words, it is a relationship. The Catechism of the Catholic Church describes prayer as the raising of one's mind and heart to God. This means that prayer can occur anywhere, at any time. In any situation, it is less about the structure of words and more about the posture of the heart. When we begin to see prayer as an ongoing dialogue rather than a scheduled activity, we open ourselves to a deeper awareness of God's constant presence. One of the first steps in this transformation is cultivating awareness. God is always present, but we are often distracted. The noise of daily life, work, technology, responsibilities can drown out the gentle voice of God. By intentionally pausing throughout the day, even for a few seconds, we can begin to recognize His presence. A simple inward glance, a quiet acknowledgement like, "Lord, you are here," can gradually train the soul to remain attentive. Over time, these small moments accumulate, forming a continuous thread of connection. Another key aspect is simplicity. Many people feel that prayer must be formal or eloquent, but this can create a barrier. In reality, God desires sincerity more than perfection. Speaking to God in your own words, sharing your thoughts, worries, and joys as you would with a close friend makes prayer more natural and sustainable. This kind of honest communication transforms prayer from an obligation into a relationship of trust and intimacy. The practice of offering small actions to God also plays a vital role. In Catholic spirituality, even the most ordinary tasks can become acts of prayer when done with love and intention. A simple intention such as "I do this for you, Lord," turns routine activities into moments of grace. This practice not only sanctifies daily life but also reinforces the awareness that God is involved in every detail of our existence. Scripture encourages this constant connection. St. Paul's exhortation to pray without ceasing is not a call to abandon daily responsibilities, but to integrate prayer into them. This kind of prayer is not always verbal. It often takes the form of a silent awareness, a gentle turning of the heart toward God. It is in this quiet, continuous attention that the soul begins to change. Silence is another essential element in a world filled with constant stimulation. Creating space for silence allows us to listen. Prayer is not only about speaking but also about receiving. When we quiet our minds and hearts, we become more receptive to God's guidance. This might come as a sense of peace, a sudden clarity, or a subtle inspiration. Over time, learning to listen deepens the relationship, making it more dynamic and responsive. As this habit of constant conversation develops, it begins to transform the inner life. One of the most noticeable changes is a growing sense of peace. When we remain connected to God throughout the day, we are less likely to be overwhelmed by stress or anxiety. Problems are no longer faced alone, they are shared with God in real time. This ongoing reliance fosters trust and reduces the burden we carry. Another transformation is in our moral and spiritual sensitivity. Frequent communication with God makes us more aware of our thoughts, words, and actions. We become quicker to recognize when we are straying and more open to correction. This is not driven by fear but by love, a desire to remain in harmony with God. As a result, virtues such as patience, humility, and charity begin to grow more naturally. Moreover, this constant dialogue nurtures gratitude. When we regularly turn our attention to God, we begin to notice the many small blessings that might otherwise go unnoticed. A kind word, a moment of beauty, a quiet success all become opportunities for thanksgiving. This attitude of gratitude reshapes our perspective, making life feel richer and more meaningful. It is important to acknowledge that this transformation does not happen overnight. Like any relationship, it requires time, consistency, and perseverance. There will be moments of dryness, distraction, and even doubt. These are normal and should not discourage us. In fact, continuing to turn to God even when we feel nothing is a powerful act of faith. It demonstrates that our relationship with Him is not based on feelings but on commitment and trust. The sacraments, especially the Eucharist and reconciliation, provide essential support in this journey. Regular participation in the life of the Church nourishes the soul and reinforces the habit of turning to God. Ultimately, transforming casual prayer into a constant conversation is about living in the presence of God. It is about allowing Him to enter not just the religious parts of our lives but every moment. As this relationship deepens, it reshapes our inner world, bringing peace, clarity, and a profound sense of purpose. Prayer ceases to be something we do and becomes who we are, people who walk with God, speak with Him, and are continually transformed by His love. Thank you for watching the video. If you found this video helpful, please like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video. Goodbye.